You wake up in a field. No memory of how you got here. No glowing prompt hovering in your vision. No hidden talent about to be unlocked. No bloodline waiting to awaken. Just grass, open sky, and the slow, sinking realization that something is very wrong. A farmer finds you. He doesn't think you're special. He thinks you're lost. He gives you water and points toward the nearest town. You walk. The town smells like smoke and livestock. People carry weapons you don't recognize. A child runs past chasing a dog. A merchant haggles loudly in a language you shouldn't understand but somehow do. Magic exists here. You can feel it faintly, like pressure behind your eyes. And you have none of it. You have no system, no class assigned, no innate talent detected. The gods did not choose you, and no ancient soul sleeps inside you. You are exactly what you look like, someone who fell into a world that wasn't built for them. You are ordinary, completely, unremarkably, inconveniently ordinary. The farmer takes pity and lets you sleep in his barn for 3 days. On the 4th, you start working. You carry grain sacks. You mend fences. You wake before dawn and stop when it's dark. Your back aches in ways you didn't know were possible. You eat what you're given and don't ask for more. You don't complain. You can't afford to. A month in, a beast breaks through the outer fence at night. Something with too many legs and yellow eyes. You grab a broken fence post and swing it. The beast bites through your forearm before you drive the post into its skull. You pass out from blood loss. You wake up bandaged. The farmer's wife stares at you like she hasn't decided if you're brave or foolish. You're not sure either. Over the next year, you take jobs no one wants, hauling carcasses from beast-infested roads, dragging rubble from collapsed mine shafts, clearing forest trails that haven't been safe in a decade. You learn things the hard way. How to move quietly, which plants stop bleeding, how to read weather by watching birds, how to sleep light and wake fast, how much pain you can push through before your body makes the decision for you. Your body changes slowly, not dramatically, not in the way stories describe, just calluses, steadier hands, a little more efficient with every motion because efficiency is what keeps you from being exhausted by noon. You can't cultivate. You have no spiritual roots, no mana affinity, no circuit for chi to flow through. Adventurers your age are registering at guilds, forming parties, talking about their first dungeon run with excitement in their voices. You watch them leave town. Then you go back to work. The guild accepts you as a porter. You carry equipment for parties who don't want to carry their own. You walk into dungeons behind people who would leave you behind without a second thought if things went wrong. You watch how they fight. You study angles, footwork, timing. You practice alone at night with a blade you bought second-hand from a retired guardsman who needed coin. No instructor, no technique manual, just repetition until failure stops being consistent. Your first solo kill is a slime. You tell no one. Your second is a goblin. It cuts your thigh before you put it down. You bind the wound yourself with cloth torn from your sleeve and keep walking. You are not gifted. You do not have a hidden power building quietly beneath the surface. But you are still here, and every morning that remains true starts to feel like its own kind of achievement. 2 years in. Still not strong, still not fast, but you show up when you say you will. You don't abandon contracts when they get harder than expected. You don't pad your kill reports. In a world full of people chasing glory, someone who just does exactly what they agreed to turns out to be rarer than talent. Parties start requesting you specifically, not because you impress them, because you don't panic. You upgrade your second-hand blade. You spend 4 months learning a basic body reinforcement technique from a retired soldier who owed you a debt. A gifted person would have absorbed it in 2 weeks. You practice until you stop failing.
3 years pass. Something shifts. Not with a flash of light. Not dramatically. It's quieter than that. A beast that used to make your hands shake now just makes you focused. A wound that kept you in bed for a week now costs you a slow day at most. You take a B-rank solo contract. The guild board goes quiet when you pull it. Someone mutters that you're being reckless. You come back with the mark's ear and the contract fee. You're not fast, not brilliant, not blessed, but 3 years of bleeding, failing, and refusing to stop built something that doesn't have a name in any talent assessment. It just works. The capital calls for volunteers. A demon army is pressing through the northern border. You go. Not out of heroism. Because you're capable. You need the money. And honestly, no place in this world has ever felt like yours anyway. Might as well be useful somewhere. The battlefield is nothing like a dungeon. The scale is wrong. The noise is wrong. People die in directions you don't expect, and there is no formation holding the line. Just chaos and the specific sound of things going badly. You almost die on the first day. An axe catches your shoulder and nearly takes the arm. A field healer patches it to functional. You sleep in the mud and wake before dawn. You fight for 11 days. At the end, you are still alive. Most of the people you arrived with are not. You don't feel like a hero. You feel like a person who was hit many times and did not fall down, which is not the same thing at all. Back in town, people look at you differently. Not with reverence, with recognition. You went somewhere they wouldn't and came back. That's its own kind of respect. The quiet kind. You take lighter work for a month. Escort contracts, trade route patrol. You let the shoulder heal properly this time. The famous adventurers pass through occasionally. Chosen ones, prodigies, people with legendary bloodlines and weapons that glow. They are stronger than you. They will probably always be stronger than you. You watch them ride out. You feel almost nothing about it. 5 years have passed since you woke up in that field. You are not the strongest. There are people in this world who could end you without effort, and there always will be. You have no sealed power, no divine heritage, no awakening waiting just around the corner. What you have is a worn sword, a body rebuilt by labor and injury, a shoulder that aches when the weather changes, and the specific kind of steadiness that only comes from having lost things and kept going anyway. The farmer who found you has a granddaughter now. She shows you a rock she found and announces it's magical. You crouch down and examine it seriously. Could be, you say. She beams. You stand, roll your shoulder once, and walk back toward the road. There's a contract in your bag due tomorrow. There's always something due tomorrow. That used to feel like nothing. Now it just feels like your life.